So we're ready to get started here with the inductions now for the pioneers and legends. We induct into two categories, the pioneers being those folks that didn't directly race, but everything else that encompasses the sport, and the legends being the race car drivers. Every inductee gets a chance to give a speech, and they also have one or more individuals that give them their introduction and share some stories as well. So if this is your first time here, that's a little bit about how the program will work. We'll go back and forth between the pioneers and the legends all the way through the 10 inductees that you see on the stage with us here tonight. Let's go to the legends category now, and our first legend inductee of the night will be Justin Wells, and Kenny Essary will give his introduction.
Glasses on this so I can see. Okay, we certainly have the best of the class as far as our inductees this year. Every one of them deserves it. Kirby Arnold has done a heck of a job with the news leader. Mike Edwards, like Randy was saying, has done it all. And Carl Sifferman, I don't think there's a race car driver out here that he hasn't had help. So, and these drivers, they sure deserve it. Kenny, thanks for all your time coming down. Got a lot of fans in this area. A lot of us just doubted that you'd ever do it. You know, in fact, Rusty said the first time you went around Daytona, you had to stop and ask directions to the start-finish line. In fact, he said, I hope this boy never tries to run a road course. Anyway, thanks for coming, Kenny. We appreciate you. This Justin has been a part of Lennon, my wife, Lena's life since he was in 7th grade. He started helping me on my car, and he's just a super person. Gary, Justin's dad, was probably his biggest fan and supporter. In fact, he put Justin in his factory stock in 1992, I believe it was, and it was the last race of the season at Fayetteville, Arkansas. It was a 100-lapper. Started 33 cars from a stop. Justin, this is the first race that he ran. First race of his career. He finished, I think he's 15 years old. He finished the race, stayed out of trouble, and finished 8th his first time out in a 100-lap race. Quite a feat for a young man. 1993, I think he ran factory stock most of the year. And in 94, it's when his habit or disease got real bad. To me, racing's a disease. It's worse than a habit. But anyway, he started out in a factory stock, won a feature or two in it, and they traded for, his dad would trade for anything. And they traded for I believe it was a modified next. He raced it a time or two and won a feature in it. Then they traded for a Sportsman, and he won a feature in it. Then they got a late model, and he won a feature in it. He won features in 4 different classes in 1994. Yeah, that's quite a feat for anybody, and he did it at just a few, 16, 17 years old. For the next few years, he raced late model, and kind of took a little bit of time off there. But then in 2003, Justin teamed up with John Yeoman, and Len and I had the racetrack at Monette, and we were sanctioning the IMCA late models. And the IMCA late model points are kept on a weekly scale and a national scale. Justin, the first year in 2003, won the National IMCA Championship. In 2004, same team, John Young racing engine, and same help on his car. He backed it up. Now these are not cars are all the same from one state to the other. I mean, the same engine rule, same tire rule, and it's just not checked by our techs at our tracks. It's checked by the national tech man too. So everything was on the scale, but Justin backed it up in 2004 again for the national championship. Justin has drove for Don Hicks after that and won modified races with late models, won many features for Don. In 2006, he got teamed up with Russell Baker. He was one of the top engine builders in the United States at that time. And in 2006, he, I think, sat on the pole for the Show Me 100 at West Plains Speedway. 100-lap race. Justin dominated the first half of the race, and due to guys like Lindquist, Wendell Wallace, that was in his best track, he knew the track, he knew the tires, and Justin led the first half or so, and finally Wendell got by him, then Bill Fry and Bloomquist. Justin wound up fourth. And I thought that was really great for a young man that doesn't have the experience. And at that time, Russell Baker was having some health issues, and he just had that opportunity to run that 1 year. Since then, he's teamed up with Kenny Patterson, and together they've won feature after feature. In fact, they have won features in Mars, MLRA, NCRA, Comp Cams, IMCA, as well as mini track championships. When Justin started his racing career, excuse me, I've had several guys like Bill Fry, Moyer, different ones ask who he was. So that kid is going to be good. He's got good car control. He don't get into you. He'll race you clean. And they knew that he had a good future ahead of him. From the first time that this kid started helping me, and he was 12, 13 years old, whatever he tried to do, it wasn't good enough to suit him. I mean, he'd try to cut a piece of sheet metal and it wouldn't be straight enough, or it just good enough wasn't good enough to suit him. And that's what it takes to be a good race car driver. And builder, you've got to do your very best and make sure that everything is right. In fact, I think he was 14, 15 years old. I was doing hay or something, and Justin got my car ready by himself, scaled it, loaded it, and we went to the racetrack, and it's the only person in my 42 years of racing that's ever done that without me seeing it on the scales or anything. I had that much faith in this kid at 15 years old. Now that's saying a lot for him. You know, Justin's raced for a lot of years now, but he still thinks that it's a privilege to get to race and do what you love. And that's why he's had such good help. He appreciates what people do for him, and he's always had good help on his car. You know, he's still racing, but not as big a scale as he was. And Darrell and Justin have started the Cash Money Series. You've heard about it. They have a booth back here in the corner. They've got their schedules, they've got their rules. I think they'll tell you back there. Go back and get the rules, get the schedule, and go out and see some of the races. I'm telling you, if anything has got a chance of saving late model racing in this area, this is it. You know, not very many people can afford the late model races that they do anymore on the scale that you've got to do, and this they can do it. They've helped a lot of young guys to get started. Justin married Melissa Bowling, and she's always been there for him to support him, and they have one son, Cole. I asked Justin what's the most memorable moment of his career. He told me that winning the 4-state in 2009 and Cole winning the 4-state in the class that he was running, and all three of them out on the front straightaway, getting the honors of the trophies and all, and they're together. And you know, that's saying something for as many races as he's won. You know, to me, it's just for both of the drivers that I get to introduce tonight. The old saying that a family that works together and plays together stays together, and these two guys are definitely proof of it. So, Justin, buddy, we love you to death, and we think you deserve it.
Well, I didn't write no big speech. I'm kind of just shoot at the hip type of guy, but racing's been a way of life. No way did I ever intend to be up here on this stage. When I first started coming around racing, it just something I really liked and took a lot of heart into. And my dad had raced previously when I was a kid, and you know, he'd got out of it. Times got tougher, and I pushed him hard to get back into racing as a child, and I probably pushed him harder than he wanted to go. And I think that's one thing that, if anybody's been around me, that they know that I probably try to get the best out of anything. You know, may never have the best equipment, or you know, we just tried real hard, and we pushed hard, and we worked hard. Everything's about first. You know, for your first time, you go to races and you see what it's about, and really liked it and wanted to go. And getting my first race car, that's all I thought about. I just want to race just an old street stock. That's all I cared about, one time. And then I pushed that into a modified, a late model. And you wanted your first win, and things that run through your mind as a person driving and racing and the goals you want. They used to have these American Racer coats, and I just thought if I get one of those American Racer coats, I'd be doing something. I bet I'd give away 50 or 100 of those coats now for championships and stuff. And I tried to share it with everybody, and got where it was really running good, and they started giving us checks that all these guys have now. And I thought if I just get one of these checks, I'd be super happy. I got them all over my wall now. They're everywhere. And I started piling them up, and my mom, she didn't really understand racing, and she came in the shop one day, and bless her heart, I was looking at it, and I knew what she was going to ask me. She was looking at all those checks on the wall. She said, "Can you cash those?" It stands out in my mind a lot there, and so you know, and like I say, I had such good help, and I pushed them really hard, and I really thank my wife and my son for what they put me through, and pushing me to do good, and I know there's times that they've done things with me and raced, and that they'd rather gone on a vacation or something like that, but I worked so hard at it there at one time that I thought if I had an off night and Melissa and I went out somewhere, I thought I was cheating on my race car. And that's how hard we worked at it. And so I've had so many great partnerships in this racing, and I think probably one of the greatest honors about the part that the people I've been involved with, they've always welcomed me back if I wanted to do something different, or I've never left bad terms with anybody, and I think that's a great part of it. I've drove for the last 10 years for Kenny Patterson. He's been a great guy, and we're going to continue to race together. Maybe not as much as we once did, but the cash money deal, it takes a lot of time, I want to make sure these young guys have a place to go, and I think that's the same thing that Ken Essary and his whole family's provided for people for years. We've had good promoters like Glen Mooneyham here. We have good engine builders like Mike Pickens, and good voices like Mike Edwards, and sponsors like Carl Sifferman. And Marty Denney over here on the end I've just got to know him for a year, this last year, and he's maybe the most talented individual I've ever saw in my life. We're going to keep working together. And these guys over here, as a child racing, you know, I'm a little younger than they are, a few years, and they was all my heroes, and to get to race with them, and it's been great. And you know, the street stock days was really cool for me, and I got to watch guys like Darr Mooneyham and Earl Muhlenberg and Bill Street, and guys like Billy Moyer. They've always been my heroes. But I was lucky enough to have Ken Essary in my backyard, and his whole family has just been so good to me and my family. Mama Lynn out there, Leslie, and Karen and Kelly. I see Kelly back here. Bunch of great people, and that's one thing about racing. You get into a family, and I can look out here and see all these great people, and somewhere down the line they've all been good to me or helped me, and you know, that's one thing about it. Racers will help each other no matter how mad you get at each other. And if you ran over somebody one week, the next week they're out there helping you. Some of the highlights, I think, in my racing career was probably that the 2003 and 2004 IMCA National Championships. You know, there'll be racing series come and go, but that's something that everybody will be able to see from here on out. And the 2009 four-state track championship, that's something that we've always wanted to win. Biggest race in my part of the country, and to win it that night, not only win it, we dominated it. And then my son comes back, a 13-year-old kid, and wins a rookie class, something that really stands out in my mind. And then he comes back in 17 as a 20-year-old kid and wins the four-state. He may be the youngest kid to win it, I don't know. I thought that was really cool. But I want to thank everybody. I owe a lot of people a lot. They've really helped me, a lot of my family, a lot of friends. And if I can give anybody any wisdom, it's kind of talking to Kenny Walls here. He said you can win every race that there is to race. At the end of the day, all you got the pile of trophies. So you better make friends. You better not burn bridges. You better do what you like for the love of it. Because it's 20 years has gone by in my racing career, and I don't know when to win. So thank you all, and we'll come back and race a little bit more.